Welcome to another movie plot and enjoy the memories. We open with two undercover police officers waiting to arrest some low-level arms dealers. Judith tells her boyfriend partner about her repetitive dream of sitting in a room with two young boys playing cards. One of them is evil, the other good, and somehow Matt thinks this is some sort of repressed sexual thing as he clearly wasn't paying attention. When Judy asks him if he wants kids, Matt's like, ew, gross, no, I hate those little things and we aren't even married yet. But when she tells him she's pregnant, he's like, wow, that's so wonderful, I love kids and can't wait to be a father. Just then the dealers arrive, so our lovebirds put their game faces on and pretend to purchase some untraceable firearms. The whole thing is a blunder, as when they try to make the arrest, Hesse throws a rifle into Matt's back, so he shoots him in the chest. Lincoln shoots him in return, then the two criminals flee into a warehouse while Judith confirms her baby daddy is deceased. As she goes into the Toyland warehouse hunting for Lincoln, Judy walks past a badly injured Hesse hiding behind some boxes. He crawls down to the basement searching for a way out and comes across an illuminated ritual room, so thinks this would be a good place to die. As Hesse bleeds out on the floor, he inadvertently gives power to a demon that brings multiple toys in the warehouse to life. One is a jack-in-the-box called Jack Attack that's just a clown's head on a tentacle that plays with a baby rattle whenever it kills. It bites a chunk out of Hesse's neck while a teddy bear named Grizzly eats off a few of his fingers. While all of this is going on and even a shootout between Judy and Lincoln, the security guard Charnetski doesn't hear a damn thing. He calls up the chunky chicken to put in a delivery, but yet complains to his friend Mark that it always tastes like crap. Probably because Mark handles the food with his bare hands while smoking in the store, yet somehow this pleather-wearing douchebag keeps his job. He drives Charnetski's order down in the chicken mobile while Judy and Lincoln resort to fisticuffs because their accuracy sucks. Lincoln gets defeated and handcuffed, but now the two are stuck in this supply room together because it locked from the outside. Meanwhile, Hesse's blood sacrifice gives a demon that appears in the form of the kid from Judy's dream enough power to raise a little hell. He isn't strong enough to do it himself, but brings to life a robot called Mr. Static to finish off Hesse with a few laser blasts to the chest. Everyone hears the commotion, but security makes it about 3 feet before sitting as lazy behind back down in front of the TV. Judy thinks that it might be more of Lincoln's men, so threatens to blow his brains out and make it look like self-defense. The chicken mobile arrives, so Judy shouts out for Mark to get help, but he doesn't hear her and she doesn't fire her gun. He just drives into the Toyland warehouse and makes his delivery, where one produces a nudie magazine and the other sniffs it. I wouldn't expect anything else from two fine gentlemen sharing a box of ashtray chicken, but that's when Judy comes up with an idea. She fires off her gun with a smug look on her face, and somehow security hears it, but not the entire shootout just moments ago. Unfortunately, she's got these two potatoes coming to the rescue, like Mark, who turns down the offer of grabbing a shotgun from the locker. I guess he thinks they were just friendly gunshots, but Cerny served in Korea and isn't taking any chances with his little 6-shooter. They unlock the door for Judith and hear the whole story about her partner knocking her up and then Lincoln knocking off her partner. She waits with Mark in the room while Cerny goes to call the police, but Grizzly hits him in the shin with a baseball bat and he drops the gun. Mark assumes he tripped over because he's drunk, which is the same reason the guard thinks he's seeing baby Oopsie Daisy talk.
I can talk?
This little doll is like the ringleader of the possessed toys and picks up the dropped gun to shoot Cerny in the leg. She then puts suppressive fire on Judy and Mark, who watch helplessly as Jack strangles Charnetski with his little rattle arm thing. Grizzly bites out his eyeball and jugular while Daisy stabs at his groin because that's where some of the best summoning blood comes from. She then drags his corpse downstairs to the center of the basement and draws a pentagram around it for a later ritual. Mark and Judy brainstorm how to get past the killer toys when a homeless girl named Annie pops out of the air conditioner, having seen the whole thing. She asks to be a part of their group because safety in numbers, and knows a way through the air vent to the security room. They need to reach it to unlock the loading bay door, so Judith remains here with the prisoner while Mark and Annie take the vent. On the way they see 3 little girls wearing gas masks and riding tricycles, but Annie says they're just watchdogs for the toys and can't harm you. Meanwhile, some blocks threaten Judith and she meets the demonic kid through Lincoln when he gets possessed to say that he wants blood and flesh. He then draws her into a dollhouse and onto an astral plane that the demon has been stuck inside for the last 66 years. In 1925, the kid tried to come to Earth through another woman's pregnancy, but his baby demon self was stillborn and thus failed. His human minions told some trick-or-treaters to bury the corpse like a seed, then once he grew like a plant he would be able to try again. However, they just tossed the creepy little thing into a ditch at a construction site, and the Toyland warehouse was built on top of it. The kid was trapped underneath until being fed blood and now wants to try it all over again with Judith as the pregnant woman. Meanwhile, baby Oopsie Daisy climbs into the vent and stabs Mark in the leg while Mr. Static shoots Annie in the arm. Remembering they're just toys, Mark hits them away and makes it to the office, but Mr. Static shoots the loading door control. Mark uses some bug spray and a lighter as a makeshift flamethrower so the toys temporarily retreat into the vents. As he grabs the shotgun, Jack Attack comes from behind and bites Ann in the neck, so he pulls it off, but the creepy clownworm thing turns on him. Mark manages to destroy his first toy by ripping it in half, blowing the head off, then stomping on it just to make sure. During this time, however, a battle-damaged Daisy leaps on Annie, stabbing at her in the eye and killing her by the time Mark even realizes. Daisy runs away while the demon comes on screen to brag that every kill just makes him more powerful. As he's searching for Judith, Mark comes across the 3 girls on tricycles but reminds himself that they're not real and they disappear. Miss July from the Nudie magazine appears, but that one's easier to believe isn't real, so the demon changes illusions. He turns into Annie for a bit and begins laughing in a deep voice, but then just disappears, so Mark continues searching for Judy. She's only just been released from the doll's house but finds Lincoln missing because he had a knife and used it to unlock the handcuffs. He comes across Mark and takes his gun, but then just wastes time talking about nothing. He even mocks this guy for having a job. Just then Judith puts a bullet in his head, so maybe he should have got one for himself, but that still doesn't stop him from talking crap. The demon keeps reanimating him until Mark knocks his block off, but this sacrifice allows a little nutcracker elf on a shelf soldier to be born. The kid brings to life everything else in the store, so Judy and Mark begin shooting everything including static. One of the casualties is Daisy when she gets it multiple times for not shutting up, while Grizzly Teddy also gets blown away. However, he's resurrected by the demon into a 6-foot version and knocks out Mark before chasing Judy into a back room. With no way to escape and Grizzly breaking through, Judy is about to spare herself the pain when the little nutcracker thing reveals an exit. It's better to trust the toy than being torn apart by that thing, so Judy follows it searching for a way out, but gets found by the demon posing as Matt. He rips out his eyes, causing Judy to pass out, then drags her downstairs and ties her up spread-eagled on top of the pentagram. The kid describes his intention as wanting to climb up inside Judy's womb to devour her unborn child's soul and inhabit its shell. Mark wakes up before there's any inhabiting and tries to save Judy, but Grizzly Teddy also returns and chases him through the store. He retreats into the chicken mobile, and since this thing is a heap of junk, it takes a bit to get going. But when it does, he crushes Grizzly against a wall, then gets out and blows up the delivery car, destroying the monster. During this time, the kid transforms into his true appearance and climbs on top of Judith to replace her unborn child's soul with his own. He says that it won't take long, which is what every woman wants to hear, when suddenly the toy soldier walks in and shoots him in the eye. It then cuts Judith free and transforms into the other young boy from her dream who was playing cards with the evil kid. Judith pushes away the demon, who also turns into his younger self, and the two boys fight, but the evil kid is much more powerful. He's about to win when Judith impales him in the back with the Nutcracker boy's dropped sword, and the demon is sent back to hell. The surviving kid is the soul of Judith's son that she's going to have in the future and was about to be eaten by the demon. He wanted to stay alive, so when the lesser demons were being summoned into toys, he found a way to sneak his soul out of her coochie and down to hell. He then returned to Earth in the next wave of summonings and put himself inside the toy soldier to save his mom. When Mark comes stumbling around the corner, he asks who Judy was talking to because the boy has turned back into the little toy soldier. He then vanishes and his soul presumably re-enters her womb and inhabits the 1-month-old vessel.
Missed me!
And the movie ends.